John Garcia from Manati Painting, doing one more video. And this time the video is gonna be about prep work before painting. So usually if you wanna paint a room, you actually have to prep the walls first. You need to caulk the trim, and then you need to remove the plates, the electric plates. So right now here in this room, we already did paint the ceiling, we already did the spackle the walls, we already did prime the walls. So right now what we have to do in this room is sand the walls first. So when you do the painting, or when you paint the walls, the walls is gonna be nice and smooth. It's gonna look real nice. Now you can paint it like that. The only problem is that it's gonna, if you touch the walls, it's gonna feel really rough. So it is up to you. We actually sand the walls first, so the finish can be nice, can be excellent. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna caulk all the trim work in this room. It's not that much. We're gonna caulk the trim work, and then we're gonna remove the electric plates. That is before painting, and then we're gonna start to paint. So this video is about prepping. So right now I'm gonna show you how to caulk the gaps on the trim. So usually I use this kind of caulk. It's 1050 from Sherwin-Williams. This caulk right here is actually really nice to work with. It dries real fast. You can find caulk like this in Home Depot. I don't really like Home Depot's caulk because it doesn't dry, you know, it needs too watery. This one right here is actually really good. I've been using this pretty much since I started my business. And then before the other company that I used to work before, I used to use this caulk all the time. So you need that caulk, right? You need this caulk gun. I usually like plastic caulk guns. I don't really like metal ones. This one right here is really easy to work with. So I'm gonna show you how to use it. So usually right here there is a hole. So if the caulk, like this one right here is a brand new tube. So this one right here has a hole right here, and this is a blade. So you just have to put the caulk right there in angle. Always have to be in angle. Don't cut it like this, because then it's gonna be really difficult to apply the caulk on the trim. So it's always have to be in angle, and then you just cut it. So right there. So now you pull this one right here. You pull this all the way back, and then you also have this. Sometimes the caulk, you need to make it has this one right here. This wire is like a piece of wire. Sometimes the caulk you have to actually do holes in the caulk, but in this one right here you don't need it. So we're not going to use that. So then you put the caulk, you push it forward, and then you press the handle, this one right here. Then you press it, and then you can see the caulk is coming. So that is the caulk. Now you're gonna need a wet towel to clean your fingers. Ready, your caulk gun ready. You have your wet towel. Grab like a wet towel, not too wet, you know, you just need to clean your fingers with the caulk. And then right now you're gonna go, like if you're painting your room at your house, just go and check the trim. Make sure that the trim is sealed and there is no gaps. So right now in here, there is a few gaps right here. So these gaps right here. So usually when I caulk baseboards or windows, I always have a brush with me. We call these brushes duster, because this is what we use to clean the baseboard. Before applying the caulk, we usually clean the baseboard first, so there is no dust on the way, you know, so the caulk can last a long time. So I recommend one of these, or you can use a broom, or you can use a dry towel. This one right here, this caulk right here is in this tube right here. We cut it in angle, so the angle go face down, right? And don't squeeze too much the gun, just a little bit, you know. So right there, you squeeze the can, and then you also slide the can so the Coke can be even. So right there in his Coke, right here too. Okay. Make sure everything is covered. Right here too. Right there. Go slow. If this is your first time applying Coke, just go slow. If you go too fast, you might not gonna do it right. Okay. And then this corner right here. So that's that. So what I like to use usually is that I like to cook all the baseball first, and then with my finger I just go and then I just take the excess Coke out. So right there is that one. You have to make sure that when you put the Coke, don't put too much. If you get the Coke in the walls, wipe it down. You can wipe it down with a towel, or you can wipe it down with your finger. So when you put the paint, everything is nice and even. Have to make sure everything, all the gaps are covered. Because if you don't put the Coke and then you paint it like that, right here where the gap was, you're gonna see the gap, and then it's not gonna look that nice, you know. So we usually do that right there. Clean the excess Coke. Then right here we still have to clean the excess Coke, and that's that. So that's that. So right now this is what you have to do. Also right here, this one right here, there is nail hose. So usually we put the nail putty to fill up the hose when we paint the baseboard. But right now we're gonna paint this the walls. So that's how you do it. Right here also, you can see there is another baseboard. I don't know who installed this baseboard, but it's not the same baseboard. But this is a rental property, you know, so we cannot do much. We just have to work with what we have. So you see how I'm applying the Coke? That's how you do it. Now, right here, you make sure everything is covered. Okay, clean your fingers. You always need to clean your fingers, because if you don't clean your fingers, you're gonna get all the Coke on the walls, and then it's not gonna look nice. You also have to make sure that the baseboard is clean, because if you apply the Coke on the doors, is not gonna be pretty. So okay, so that's done. And this right here, and this one right here, the nail hose, we're gonna fill them up with putty so it can be nice and even. Okay, so that's done. This room right here, it doesn't have that many baseboards that is not Coke. It's just pretty much they did put brand new baseboards, so we need to cook these ones right here. So okay, one more time. You see, squeeze the gun, go slow, make sure the gap is filled. Now this one right here is a big gap, so you need to be careful. You need to start to film all the way inside out, so the Coke it doesn't fall. Take the excess Coke right there. Okay, so now right there. So that's that. So right now with your finger, just press it, and then you go right like this. Go straight. Don't put too much pressure on your finger, because pressure on your finger, because you can cut your finger. So just go really gentle, because if not, you can hurt yourself. Okay, so this is the caulk that we need to cook right here. Also, like on the windows. Pásame el duster, hermano. In the windows too, like this one right here. This is the caulk right there. Just a little bit of spackle right here. We need to remove it before. Okay, so this one right here also, right? So it's the same process. You go there, put the gun, squeeze it, and then go slow. If you put a lot of caulk, don't worry, you can always take it off. So this order here is just right there. Make sure everything's nice and caulk, so when you paint it there is no gap showing. Actually, caulking is really important before painting. Clean the excess caulk, and then that's that. Usually this caulk right here, the 1050 from Sherwin-Williams, it dries in 30 minutes, so you can actually paint in 30 minutes. Now this gap right here, this is really common on houses. This gap right here, so we need to fill this gap. So once we paint it, you don't see that. So you start from the top and bottom. So you start there. Make sure you are putting enough caulk. Boom. Okay, so that's that. Now with your finger, just go slow. Go slow, go slow. Clean your finger. Start from there. So it was a gap there, but right now there is no gap. Make sure that the caulk on the trim and then the caulk on the wall is nice and even, because if the caulk is not nice and even, then when you paint it, you're gonna see the caulk mark. So just make sure it's nice and even. And that's it. So that's what you need to do when you apply caulk. When you're painting a room, you need to first spackle all the imperfections, all the nail holes, all the scratches, or the heats. You need to caulk the baseboard. You need to, if there is nail holes on the baseboards or on the window trim, on the window sill, you need to put nail putty. And then once that's done, then you need to sand the walls so you can have a smooth finish. So the caulk is done. Right now we're gonna sand the walls. So this is all for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you learned something. Don't forget to leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel, and then see you on the next video.